Hey guys, welcome to Music Appreciation. I'm so glad to have you in this course. I'd like to show you a few things that I think might help you get started. So I'm in Brightspace, located on the MCC website, and there are two quick links that you might want to know about. The first is the syllabus or instructor plan, so you can refer back to that, and also Pearson Revel. There's another link at the top of the menu here, which links you to the book that we'll use for the course. So let's get started under the content area. If you'll go to content and then to the introduction unit, the first thing that you're looking for is the task sheet or checklist. You'll find one of these at the beginning of each unit, and it's a great place to start. Okay, so once in the task sheet, you're going to want to place a check mark by each item as you do them. So we'll come back to take a look at the syllabus together, but the next thing that you'll see is the discussion board. Under the discussion board are discussion board instructions. I encourage you to read these carefully. Each post that you make should be a minimum of 150 words and contain quality content. So think here, college style writing. The introduction discussion board is super easy because all you have to do is talk about yourself. But be sure you read those discussion board instructions, and each of your posts should be a minimum of 150 words. So take a look at those. The next area of the course is to check your time zone. If you don't have it set to Central Standard Time in Brightspace, that can affect the way that some of your work is submitted. The next one is to opt in for announcements. Brightspace allows you to do lots of different things with the various features and the way that you receive information. This just lets you receive all of the announcements in the course to your email. Speaking of email, we definitely want to use MCC email. If you've not logged into your MCC email yet, now's a great time to do that. I will only be communicating to that email address going forward in the course, so it's very important that you're checking that regularly. Now, the next thing that we want to take a look at is the book for the course, and that is Pearson Revel. Pearson is the publisher, Revel is the platform, and then the book is called Listen to This. So if you click on this link, it's going to open up Pearson Revel. Okay, so this is Revel, and you want to think about this area of the course as the classroom. So you want to spend about as much time as you would spend in a face-to-face course working with the material here. As you move through the content, you'll see these little bubbles fill in, so you can definitely know that you're touching every area that you need to. At the end of this, you'll see Introduction Quiz. You want to spend your time here. Each of these quizzes are graded, and then the grades are transferred into Brightspace automatically. So let's look at a regular unit. That's the introduction unit. Kind of lets you know the different areas of music. The next regular unit, which is where we start on the historical part, is the Middle Ages. And so you see the due date, July 12th, due at 11:59 p.m. You're going to read through and work through this content. The important thing to know here is for each unit, there's an introduction, and for each introduction, there's a quiz. So you see here reading and quiz, introduction, Middle Ages, so that part's graded. Anything that you see that's like an essay or short answer, you do not have to do that. That's definitely not graded. At the end of each chapter, you'll see a 5-question quiz. They're super fast. The feedback that I've had from students is that the quizzes really prepare them for the end of unit exams. Typically quizzes for like a whole area should just take 15 minutes or so, depending on how much time you've spent and how familiar you are with the content. So it's not too bad. Okay, so back in the task sheet, we'll check the Revel box, and then I know this is a little weird. So to take the introduction unit exam, you have to actually check the box that says you've done it to make the link available. Otherwise, if you click on the introduction unit exam, you'll get an error message that says quick link not available. So go ahead and make sure that every single box is checked, and then the exam becomes available, and that's the case for each unit. So let's go back and look at the syllabus together. So I won't insult you by reading this rather lengthy document, but I would like to point out a few things. You will need to read most of the course-specific information on your own, but I just want to be sure that we're real clear on a couple of things. I want to start with the unit breakdown and calendar or schedule. So here we are, page 5. The course outline or schedule shows you which items are due and the date that they're due. Everything in the course is due at 11:59 p.m. on the date that it's due. And then this is just an additional breakdown in addition to the task sheet in Brightspace if you wanted to have something that you could print to review for the semester. There's one important thing that you need to know. The discussion board here, discussion board 00 and discussion board 01 fall within the same week. That's the only time that you'll have two discussion boards due in the same week, but they're both pretty easy and very relevant to the content. And then there's a little box here just to remind you that Revel quizzes are assigned for every unit introduction and every chapter. So for instance, here we have the Baroque introduction. There will be a quiz for that. Those are 10 questions. And then for each of the chapters that you do, keep in mind they're short, there will be 5 questions for that. So not too terrible, and again, they really do help prepare you. The next is grading breakdown. We love the question, how do I make an A in this course, right? I love that. That's the best thing, right? So you definitely want to spend your time on the material in Revel, and that's weighted, the average quiz grade is weighted at 30%, and then the discussion boards are worth 20%, unit exams 40%, final exam 10%. Next, you'll see a breakdown for each area of the course. I won't read that to you. You can definitely read that on your own. It's important for you to review it, but you can also come back to it later in the semester. The next thing is extra credit. I'm all about extra credit. Well, sometimes people like to really pad their grade on the front end, and I am a big fan of that. I have 2 different options here. One is to complete the reviews for the unit exams. I've had some great feedback on that from my classes. If you complete the review adequately, I will actually give you extra credit. It's a win-win situation because if you complete the review, you're usually really prepared for the exam, and also you receive extra credit. So it really does boost your grade. And then the extra option is, or the additional option is, there's an assignment associated with each unit. And so you can do that extra assignment, and it also helps to boost your total grade. So those are some options there. For late work, unfortunately, in the summer, I don't accept late work. I found that students are not successful in a shortened semester if I start to allow late work. So what you need to do is work ahead as often as possible. I know you're busy and balancing a lot of things, but the more you can do on the front end, the better off you are. For attendance in an online course, I really like to focus on how often you're working. So if you are turning in assignments on time and you're logging in regularly, then you're fine. If I see you go 5 consecutive days without logging in and turning in work, again, you cannot just log in, you have to also be turning work in. If I see that that's happening, then I'm going to think that you probably don't want to continue in the course. If you experience some sort of really terrible semester, just contact me. I'm happy to help you as much as I possibly can. Communicate early, communicate often. I'm here for you. Okay, so after we've completed the introduction unit, all you would do is go to the next unit on that main menu to the left, and then click on the next task sheet, and that will tell you what to do going forward. I'm so glad to have you in this course. I really appreciate your time. I hope that you have a great semester. I look forward to speaking with you via email, and I'll see what you have to say on the discussion boards. Have a great summer.